Alright guys, so here I pulled up the good old projectors, and I'm just going to go over a few things of each of these and the styles. So traditional projectors work like this, or are like this, and this one's kind of dusty from sitting out in the garage. I actually haven't used this one in a long time, but I remember I had it and I was like, I better get this just to show it. So this is an aerograph projector, and these are pretty easy. They have a light bulb. You place an image here, and the image, it uses a mirror to reflect the image through the lens, right? And then using this lens focus here, you focus it on the wall. Pretty basic, pretty good. It works just great, but you do have to have an image. The bulb in there has to be pretty bright. And yeah, it's pretty limited to whatever you have. And the sizes of it as well. It only comes with one lens. They do have like really nice aerograph projectors. But from my experience, they're just really expensive, and they don't really do anything special as far as I'm concerned. For airbrush needs, there's no difference. Next would be what I made the mistake of buying, and what I'm hoping this video stops you guys from doing, is buying one of these cheap projectors off of like eBay or Amazon. And you know, it works okay, right? But the resolution on it is really low, so when you project something you get squares, and so you lose a lot of detail when you're trying to project something. And it's also really dim. This one and this one are about the same brightness, right? So there's nothing actually special about this. And then actually, to get it focused pretty small, I had to modify the edge here so to allow the lens to just go past that, you see there. So it'll function, but I honestly, for the price, I would not recommend this. This is no good. And then here we have what I use nowadays, and I'll put a link down in the description. And it's an Alifas projector, and it has all the inputs right here. So it has USB, audio, video, HDMI. It has a computer input, SD card. It comes with a controller. And this thing is bright. You could use this thing even with the lights on, and it's really bright. It's only 720p, but it's a real 720p. So when you project something, it doesn't produce a ton of squares unless you make it really big, you know. But at that point, you know, it's you know, there's no point in making stuff so big. But this projector works great. It's super bright, and the one important feature that I would recommend if you're looking to buy any projector, right, make sure you get a projector with this keystone adjustment, right? So this keystone adjustment here, so when you project something, right, you really want to be, right, like you want to be parallel with the wall, right? So if I'm going to project something on this wall here, you want to be parallel with the wall. And you also, if you're going to want the square, like, you know, the image here, you need to lift and lower the projector to get the correct, I guess the correct dimensions, so that it's correctly parallel, right? Having a keystone is like, if you can't, you know, if there's no way to actually lift it up, you know, if there's no way to mount it, you can actually just tilt it and then adjust the keystone, and it'll adjust the angle of the lens. So it'll allow you to use the projector in ways that these projectors just wouldn't be able to do at different angles and such like that. So the keystone is pretty important. You want to make sure you get a projector with a good resolution, a good keystone, a good focus and lens. So this one works really great, and you want it to be as bright as you can, right? So you want all the brightness. This projector right here, like I said, it's super bright. You can use it with the lights on and stuff. But enough talking. We're just going to take it over to the other area over there. We're going to dim the lights a little bit, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Alright guys, so here we are in the living room, and it's daytime, but I have all the curtains closed. And this is usually how, you know, we use the projector, because I use it during the day. So it used to be that with this one, and I'll turn it on here, and it's pointed at that back wall back there, right at this wall over here. If I move it around, you can kind of see those lines back there moving. Yeah, this was unusable during the day. I had to wait till nighttime or like have a completely dark room to be able to use this. So these, they're basic, they work, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. Then we have this one. I'll turn it on. And you can see that back there. And now that one, you can actually see the picture. Did it turn off? Oh no, there it goes. See that? You can see the picture back there. It's not super clear, but you can see it, and it's quite fine. But again, once you actually get close and you start trying to trace stuff over there, where the image is, you start noticing all the graininess and how it's actually not very clear. But you can see I was able to do projections and trace during the day just fine using that one. It works. But now that we have this one, I'll go ahead and turn this one on. And yeah, as you can see, this one is very, very, very bright. We adjust the keystone to get it nice and square. Then we adjust the focus. And you can see that it's super clear down there. And that's what I'm talking about, the difference in the brightnesses and stuff. And yeah, this one is just really clear over there too. When you get in close, you can actually see her hair strands and stuff on the picture over there. Whereas with the other projectors, if I was to put an image like that, most of her hair would be kind of mushy looking. So anyway, that's the difference between the projectors. Now we're going to get up close over there, and I'm going to just go over a few things about how to trace it, even though, yeah. Okay, so now we're up close on the image, and you can see, all this detail, and from here, you can really just start tracing whatever you feel is necessary that you need to make your drawing, right? Most people think that you're just going to trace out everything, and the truth of the matter is that you don't want to do that. You're going to end up with a bunch, like if you try to trace out the shading, and you're going to end up with a whole bunch of lines on your picture, right? So you want to rely on your artistic talent as much as you can, or your reference picture, right? So you're going to trace it, you maybe do some outline for the eyes, your lips, the nose, maybe the camera here if you're going to do that. But you don't want to trace just everything, but you do want to give yourself a good plan for your painting, right? So you want to trace out maybe this hair strand that comes up here. Maybe give yourself a hairline or the edge, maybe this hair. Maybe trace out just the edge, the bottom edge of the eyebrow, so that you know where the eyebrow sits, right? But again, you don't want to just trace out every single detail, because then you'll have a nightmare trying to cover up all the lines and whatnot. Also, the more detail you trace out, the more detail you're going to have to end up putting in the drawing. So a lot of people think that you use a projector and automatically you're going to do some kind of magnificent painting, but that's not quite true. You have to actually be able to match the lines and everything that you traced over. So if you trace out every single individual strand of hair, you better be sure that you can paint every single individual strand of hair as it is, because otherwise you're just wasting your time. So you're better off just giving yourself an idea and then going through and just adding in your own freestyle kind of hair. So it's up to you guys how much you guys think that you need to trace out and have on your canvas, or on whatever it is that you're painting. But as for me, I just like going as minimal as possible, giving myself a good idea, like tracing out maybe the cord there, maybe her fingers, but I'm not going to do any specific lines for shadows or anything like that, because if I give myself the line for the lips, I kind of know where how to like space this right. If I have the hairline here and the lip there, I could kind of figure out where the shading and stuff goes. And that's kind of what you want to do. You want to make yourself a map, and you don't want to just trace out the drawing, because that defeats the whole purpose. So that would be my whole advice. Again, get yourself a bright compressor, make sure it has a keystone, a good resolution, all the inputs, and make sure that when you're tracing, you trace only what you need to make your painting. That's the best way I could describe it. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys liked that video. As always, thank you guys for all the support, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Later.